What's up, guys? Alvaro here, and welcome to the bilingual stock market channel again. Let's go ahead and talk about some stocks and about the unbelievable that happened today in the markets. And finally, at last, today we got the Federal Open Market Committee. We had a huge green day across the board. And why? Well, because the markets liked, for the most part, what Mr. Jerome Powell said. He ruled out a 75 basis point hike anytime soon. It is out of the table. As of now, it is off the table. And he also said that the most likely outcome that we are going to see in the next two Federal Open Market Committees is going to be 50 basis point hike. So that's something that the markets already priced in. So we ended up having a green day across the board. He was asked about the possibility of the Federal Reserve to force a recession in the US in order to control inflation. And he said, if we have to do that, we are more than willing to do it. But the markets didn't pay attention to that. The markets wanted rally today. He also said that a soft landing isn't going to be easy, but he didn't rule it out either. So we had a very solid green day across the board. Now the question is this rally sustainable? What is going to happen in the next few days? Keep in mind, guys, that on Friday we have the jobs report of April. That is going to be very important for the markets in order to be able to keep on rallying. If that jobs report happens to come out way better than expected, that is still going to be a sign that the economy is getting very overheated and that inflation might not be peaking at this moment. So that is going to be very important. And needless to say, the CPI data report that comes out on May 11th is going to be even more critical for the markets in order to pick up a direction. So Russell 2000 goes up today 2.69%. Nasdaq goes up 3.19%. Sorry, guys. Dow goes up 2.81%, and the S&P 500 goes up 2.99%. Crude oil also goes up today 5.12% and closes today's trading session at $107.65. Gold goes up 0.74%. Silver goes up 1.76%. And the 10-year Treasury yield went down today 1.45%. You guys know that I go TLT calls. I am shorting the yields of the Treasury bonds. I think that the bonds of the US are bottoming out. And I think I am going to be making good money out of my TLT position anytime soon. If we take a look at the sectors of the markets, all of the sectors closed the trading session in the green, led by energy, which goes up 4.15%, technology goes up 3.51%, and communication services goes up 3.43%. Unbelievable, the returns of the sectors today. The worst, and I am quoting worst, performing sector today was real estate, which went up 1.18%. Something that is worth pointing out over here is that the rally that we saw today was so massive, guys, that every single sector went up at least 1%. Unbelievable stuff. If we take a look at the advances and declines distribution, huge green day across the board with 5,336 stocks. Sorry, guys, 5,336 stocks going up and 2,282 stocks going down. I want to show you some trades that I closed in today's trading session. Very solid day for me, guys. Yesterday, guess what? I got lift puts, 30 buck puts that expire in mid-May, I think. I ended up, by the way, these are the notifications that I post on my Patreon, so they are written in Spanish, obviously. You guys can see this number over here. I ended up making out of these puts, only one put. I only got one put. I ended up making over here $667. And I also closed a swing position on Adobe. I took advantage of the huge rally that we saw into the closing bell. So I ended up making, in the case of Adobe, I purchased shares, I think, in late April. On April 22nd, I purchased 35 shares of Adobe. I ended up closing this trade today. The markets were getting a bit overextended in minor time frames. So I ended up making over here $180. So in summary, guys, I made today something like $800. Very solid day for me. And I nailed it, guys. I don't like, to toot my own horn, but I nailed it with the puts of Lyft. S&P 500 goes up today 3% and closes today's trading session at 4,300 points. Exactly, even 4,300 points. Unbelievable rally for the bulls over here. So the most important fact that is obviously worth pointing out over here is the fact that the bulls managed to close the trading session above 42.90. 42.90 happens to be a previous support back from late January, and also this is a previous support back from October of last year. So I'm thinking that if the bulls can close tomorrow's trading session slightly above 4,290 points, this is going to be a huge victory for them. And in terms of the most immediate task that they need to accomplish in the next few days, that is going to be taking on the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart at 4,323 points. That is going to be a bit positive from a technical standpoint. You guys know that the S&P 500 is absolutely broken from a technical standpoint. Clear downtrend, trading below all the moving averages. By the way, you guys can see over here two different types of death cross or death crosses. You guys can see how the 100-day moving average already crossed below the 200-day moving average. And you guys can also see how the 50 SMA crossed below the 180 SMA. So we have a lot of pressure to the downside when it comes to the moving averages. The RSI of the S&P is at 56 points. That implies that this index is neither oversold nor overbought. So obviously the S&P could go either way. When it comes to the bears, I would say that the most immediate task that they need to accomplish would be bringing the S&P 500 below 4,220 points. This is a previous support back from late January. So let's see what happens, guys. There is a lot of damage over here. The bulls have a lot of repairs to do. And I think that maybe if in the next few days they happen to reconquer, or maybe tomorrow, who knows, if they happen to be able to reconquer this 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart at 4,320 points-ish, that is going to be a humble victory for them. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the Silicon Valley guys, the technology people. The Nasdaq 100, this index went up today 3.41% and closed today's trading session at 13,535 points. If you guys remember, in the video that I posted on Monday, I told you guys in the, let's say, in the most immediate term, the most important task that the bulls of the NDX need to accomplish is going to be closing one single trading session above 13,450 points. This is a previous support back from mid-March, and that's exactly what they did today. You guys can obviously see over here, or you guys can clearly see how the bulls fell today right at the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart at 13,600 points. So obviously the most important task for them is going to be reconquering this 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart and trying to close one single trading session above this level. In the case of the purse, they need to bring the Nasdaq 100 below, once again, 13,000 points. This is going to be critical from a model standpoint for the purse in order to show the bulls that they are still in absolute control of the Nasdaq 100, which happens to be the case. Over here, we can also see two different death crosses with the 100-day moving average crossing below the 200-day moving average, and also with the 50 SMA crossing below the 180 SMA. And as I just said, in the case of the S&P, RSI of the NDX at 58 points. Very healthy from a technical standpoint, but this also implies that the NDX is neither oversold nor overbought, so this index could go either way. And by the way, the NDX left the bear market today because as of now, and taking into account today's closing price or level, the NDX is 19% of the highs. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Sunrun, which is posting earnings today. Let's see what it is. Take a look at this pop. So Sunrun, by the way, I didn't tell you guys yesterday because I was filming the video with Mario. I closed two call options that I had purchased on Sunrun last week, and yesterday I ended up making something like $450. That trade ended out, I ended up making good money out of that trade. So Sunrun is up after hours a lot. We can make the case that they killed it. They are up 10% after hours. This stock went up today 6.10% and closed today's trading session at $24. So what happened over here in the case of Sunrun? Let's see, EPS, negative EPS. This is a company that is still losing money. Came in at 42 cents, may not compare to 17 cents. So EPS came out way worse than expected. However, take a look at these guys. Sales came in way better than expected. $495.80 million, beating the estimate of $401.31 million. Do I have any guidance related stuff over here? Let's see. Reporters, Q1 results. I don't have any guidance related information, but they did pretty well when it comes to sales, but they missed on EPS. And I guess that guidance must be solid, guys, because Sunrun is running up a lot after hours. So what could be potentially happening over here tomorrow? Take a look at the RSI of Sunrun, guys, 84 points. On the 4-hour chart, the stock of this company is very, but very overbacked. It is due for some sort of pullback. So if tomorrow the bulls of Sunrun happen to pull back a bit and pay a visit to a former support at $25, we are talking about a former area of support back from early March and also a former resistance back from early February. So if we happen to see, and this is the most likely outcome, by the way, guys, for tomorrow's trading session, because we are very likely the stock of this company has gone up a lot in just a couple of trading sessions. So we are very likely to see profit taken tomorrow. So any pullback of Sunrun down to $25, and if we happen to confirm support over there, might imply that the bulls are about to bounce back up once again up to the 100-day moving average at $28. If we were able to take this trade from $25-ish up to the 100-day moving average at $28, this would be a 10% profit. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Marathon Digital. We should be posting earnings today. Did they post earnings? Let me see. Is there any reaction of the markets? No, nothing important has happened over here. Let's see. Yeah, we have EPS. Negative EPS came in at 13 cents, down from 87 cents year over year. So they are losing money now, whereas a year ago they made a profit. Obviously, because Bitcoin has been going down a lot. Sales came in at $51.72 million, missing the estimate by a long shot, guys, of $54.27 million. I don't have much information. You guys know that this is a stock that, for the most part, depends on whatever Bitcoin does. Very ugly looking short, clear downtrend. Marathon Digital is trading below all the moving averages. However, we might see a light at the end of the tunnel over here with the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart at $18. Watch out for this resistance, guys, because maybe if the bulls can take on $18 tomorrow on good volume and momentum, they might be able to fill the next gap up to $21. This is a previous support back from early March and also back from early February. If we were able to take a trade from $18.20-ish up to $21, this would be a 16% profit, nothing to sneeze at. And mind you, guys, if this support of $18 happens to be broken to the downside, this might be puts territory, because this is a very ugly looking chart, from $18 down to $15 for the most part, or $15-ish. RSI at 56 points, very healthy from a technical standpoint, so we cannot rule out this push to the upside from $18 up to $20 per share. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the last stock of this video, eBay. What is going on over here? Jesus, take a look at this drop. eBay goes up today 1.80% and closes today's trading session at $54.42. And I think that this company dropped the ball, guys. Oh, yeah. eBay is down a lot after hours, 6%. So what happens over here with eBay? So do I have the information handy? Yes. I mean, I have also guidance, which is good. Let's see. What is EPS? What is, let's see. EPS came in at $1.05, beating the estimate of $1.03. Sales came in at $2.50 billion, beating the estimate of $2.46 billion. So we have a beat across the board when it comes to sales and EPS, top and bottom line. So I think that guidance must be very, but very poor, just like what happened yesterday with Lyft. They beat on both EPS and sales, but the guidance was very weak and the stock ended up dropping a lot. So eBay sees Q2 adjusted EPS from 87 cents up to 91 cents versus $1.01 estimate. So they missed on guidance when it comes to EPS. And sales should come in at between $2.35 billion up to $2.40 billion versus $2.54 billion estimate. Very poor guidance in the case of eBay. So I think that the stock of this company is going to be a candidate for puts in tomorrow's trading session. As of now, eBay is trading at 51 bucks. So I am going to draw a line over here. We have a clear support at 50 bucks. Watch out for this support tomorrow, guys, because take a look at the RSI, 37 points. eBay is not very oversold yet. So if this support of 50 bucks happens to be broken to the downside, we have room down to $47. This would be an excellent trade if we happen to grab puts with eBay breaking the support of 50 bucks. And take a look at this, guys. This is a mess. Clear downtrend below all the moving averages. On top of that, we can clearly see over here a death cross with the 50 SMA crossing below the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. A very poor commercial guidance for the next quarter. So eBay is going to be on the top of my watch list for charts in tomorrow's trading session. And by the way, guys, and before finishing this video, let's go ahead and take a look at Skillz. Is this report out? Let me see. Skillz. Yeah, EPS came in negative at 37 cents, down from 13 cents year over year. So they are losing way more money relative to a year ago. Sales came in at $93 million, beating the estimate of $91 million. Do I have any guidance related info over here? No, I have none. Very ugly looking chart, guys. Nothing to say about Skillz. I know that there are a lot of people out there holding the bag with the stock of this company. Very poor earnings report, and maybe we can make the case that Skillz is trying to work out a bottom over here, slightly above $2. But if $2 happens to be broken to the downside, guys, I think that this company has a first chance of going sub $1. So if you're holding the bag over here, this might be a moment to think about releasing that bag, guys. And with the Skillz, I am going to wrap up this video. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for hanging out with me once again. Remember, and keep in mind, guys, that here on the Bilingual Stock Market channel, we are posting stock market update videos Mondays through Thursdays, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. So if you want to get all of the notifications of all of our videos in a timely manner, you have to be subscribed to this YouTube channel, but you also need to activate the notification bell right up there. Follow us on Instagram as well, guys, at Bilingual Stock Market. And remember that this is the Bilingual Stock Market channel, the YouTube channel, in which we talk about the markets, but we do things differently because we talk about the markets in 2 different languages, English and Spanish. So you can pick your preferred language, but most importantly, this is the YouTube channel in which we know that the wonderful world of Wall Street is not for geniuses, it is for entrepreneurs just like you guys and myself. My name is Alvaro, and I will see you guys tomorrow once again, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. Peace out.